Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Today I want to talk about something very fundamental, the most fundamental thing I can think of, because Pittsburgh has been so sloppy the last 3 weeks. There's been so many unforced errors, so much Steelers beating Steelers. It's a big reason why they were upset Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. And the fundamental thing is having 11 players on the field, not 10, not 12, 11 players, the number you're supposed to have on the field for every single snap. Somehow, despite it being almost stretch run time here in Pittsburgh and for the NFL in weeks 11, 12, 13, Pittsburgh is really struggling to get 11 guys on the field. Let's talk about it. And before we get into the tape, if you guys could like this video, also subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that. Just a quick note as well, this will be a mix of all 22 film and screenshots from the TV tape. I'm not going to put in the TV tape and actually play it. There's some copyright concerns there. And the all 22 film does not always show some of the mistakes and miscues Pittsburgh has been having. But let's start late in this game. The game was basically over at this point, but still principle remains all the same. 12 guys for Pittsburgh on defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That is one more than you're allowed. And the second the ball is snapped, Pittsburgh is flagged, and it's a free 5 yards for the Arizona Cardinals. In this instance, Pittsburgh had 3 safeties and 4 defensive linemen. Either Pittsburgh plays their 4-4 with 3 DBs, usually 2 safeties in 1 corner, or they're going to play their 3-4 big package where they're going to have 3 safeties in 1 corner and a 3-4 front. They're combining both on this play, and so either one of the D linemen should have gone out or one of the safeties should have gone out, most likely one of the safeties, but it's hard to tell exactly where the confusion is at. So this one, free 5 yards as the Cardinals take off the last 4:25 of the game and finish out that victory. Now let's go back to the Bengals game in Week 12, and late in this one, Pittsburgh had one too many defenders before. Now they have not enough. They have 10 guys out here. We'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They are missing a man on this play, and it leads to a big gain by running back Joe Mixon for over 30 yards. Ultimately did not hurt Pittsburgh. They went on to win this game here against Jake Browning. But you're wondering how Joe Mixon rips off a big chunk play late in this one as the Bengals are trying to claw back in this game. Well, when you have 10 men on the field, that's going to be an issue. In this case, Landon Roberts was healthy. He was out there, so there wasn't even the communication issues that would be a bit more excusable against Arizona, where you've lost Roberts and really counting on some young people and new faces like Michael Walker to try to get the job done from a communication standpoint, although a lot of that is really handled by the positional coaches more so than it's going to be actually the players, so it really doesn't matter who was hurt and all that anyway. So 10 players for Pittsburgh leads to a big gain by the Bengals. Next, we'll look at 2 moments from the Browns game, and these are the screenshots because timeouts were taken to avoid the penalty, and so they are not shown on the All-22 because they were timeouts. The ball was never snapped. There was no actual penalty, but first one here very early in this game for the Browns, second play of the game, and Pittsburgh again has 12 men on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You guys see it marked up on the photo on screen as I counted through. Again, just wires crossed about what kind of personnel they were going to be in. Pittsburgh's had some more trouble against teams to go heavy, and in this case, it looks like about 13 personnel, I believe, 1 running back, 3 tight ends, and Pittsburgh has different ways to attack that. They can, although they don't often these days, stay in their traditional base 3-4. They can run their 4-4 defense we just talked about, or they can be in their 3-4 big with 3 safeties and 1 corner. Their typical approach at this point, especially as Minkah Fitzpatrick gets back healthy, and so some wires crossed in terms of what personnel we want to bring in as we kind of rotate to match what the offense is doing. Timeout has to be called here early in this game, and that's wasting one within the first couple of plays. And then late in this game, this close contest against Cleveland, which Pittsburgh ultimately, of course, lost. The same issue, although it's not the 13 personnel or the 4-4 or 3 safety package, but still 12 players out on the field for Pittsburgh's defense. Not entirely sure which wires got crossed here. Looks like Pittsburgh's trying to be in a combination of their base and nickel defense, and just one too many. So again, 12 guys on the field. Another timeout has to be burned by the Pittsburgh Steelers in a close loss. And so it's fourth quarter, late in the game. You're wasting a timeout. That stuff comes back to bite you, and it just cannot happen at any point, especially this late in the year. Flipping over to the offense now, and they've had their own issues just getting 11 people on the field as well. Our Tom Mead from Steelers Depot pointed this out in the Browns game a couple of weeks ago. Just 10 guys on the field on the second play of the game against Cleveland. We'll back to the film. We'll count this one through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They are missing an extra player, be it a tackle eligible or a tight end. Not entirely sure. In this play, nearly a safety, Najee Harris just gets outside the goal line, but this one gets blown up and just has no chance. And you can see Connor Hayward being tasked to block Myles Garrett on this play. We'll go ahead and run it from the other view. Again, you can see there's one receiver off screen to the right. Otherwise, there's your 5 offensive linemen, 6 tight end, 7th with the tight end, 8th with the quarterback, and 9th with Najee Harris. The receiver off screen gives you 10, and that is not enough. And then Connor Hayward trying to block Myles Garrett, not loving that whole situation there. And it's very fortunate Pittsburgh was not called for a safety. And then from the Cardinals game, as we just watched on Sunday, Pittsburgh trying to go with their tackle eligible, their 6 offensive lineman package, which they have not used too much this year, but with Chukwuma Okorafor getting paid handsomely and barely playing now that he's been surpassed by Broderick Jones at right tackle. They're trying to get Okorafor involved here a little bit, but he is forgotten about, does not get the message to get out on the field, tries to run out there very late, has no chance to get there across the sideline out towards the end zone, and Pittsburgh forced to call a timeout, having just 10 guys on the field. So again, just an issue getting to 11 guys on the field for the snap. Finally, special teams cannot be forgotten about. They've been extremely sloppy with a ton of penalties, including in Sunday's loss to Arizona. Miles Killebrew flagged 3 times, 2 of which were accepted, and both of them were 15-yard penalties that really impacted field position. In this case, the least egregious of all the examples, I suppose, because they did eventually get the 11th man out there, but as the play clock is winding down on this punt late in the game, against Cleveland, it's actually right before Pittsburgh had the 12 men on the field against the Browns we just looked at that forced them to call a timeout. Only 10 on the punt team. And you can, a little harder to see here, but we'll kind of count this thing through, starting with the long snapper, Christian Kuntz, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Mark Robinson rushes on the field late, does get out there. They get the punt off. Fair catch, not the end of the world. They get it done, but it's just an adventure getting a guy like Mark Robinson, who I think is on this unit, on the punt coverage unit throughout the year, out on the field. And so just another issue there. Again, less so because they did actually snap the ball with 11, but barely, and you're just risking communication issues and chaos as the play clock is winding down. Again, late in the game, it's tied. You're never looking for these mistakes, obviously, but especially in this situation. I know that's not the most in-depth or analytical video I've ever done in my entire life, but it's just getting back to the fundamentals of football. I can't believe I have to say it. It wouldn't be acceptable in a preseason game, let alone here late in the season, Pittsburgh trying to make a push. Yes, there's injuries. Yes, sometimes things happen, but I mean, we just counted 7 issues over the last 3 weeks of this team not getting the right personnel, not getting the right number of personnel on the field. Doesn't account for all the other issues of snapping the football, offensively being in the right formation, being in a legal formation. They were flagged for that twice, for tackles not being covered up, whether that's, again, penalties, false starts, the special teams issues, all that kind of stuff, the turnovers, etc., etc. Again, just getting 11 on the field has been a real sticking point, a real issue for the Steelers team, and it's why they have these games that they had against Arizona where they stumble and they fall and they get upset, because they just can't get out of their own way so much of the time. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll do a more in-depth kind of X's and O's or individual look in our next video. Hopefully I'll get one out before the Patriots game on Thursday. Again, please like this video. Please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you soon.